What are the top most popular vehicles for would-be thieves to steal? And why would they even steal it? Well, clearly, some of them do it to send it south of the border, some of them do it to chop it and sell the parts. Either way, it puts you out, causes you a serious inconvenience, puts you tens of thousands of dollars in the hole, and you lose every single time. So I want to share a list of 10 of the most popular vehicles stolen by would-be thieves, and also I'm going to do you a solid and share some of the tips to help prevent that from happening. Let's get into it now. This beautiful little purple unit right behind me here, it's one of the popular vehicle brands. Of course, what we're looking at here is a Toyota. And it's a RAV4, and this one's an LE all-wheel drive, so it's a very popular configuration. 2013 to 2018 model years of these beautiful vehicles are on the hit list, unfortunately, because you have some practicality buried in there with room for lots of happy little customers. Of course, you have some great technology, some beautiful styling on the front end, and of course the infamous Toyota reliability that you can expect from any one of their models in current generations. So these are very popular. As a matter of fact, they're so popular you can expect about 0.2% of these vehicles to take a walk, unfortunately, just because of their overall popularity in the marketplace. The next is the 2011 to 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Everybody loves them because of their versatility, utilitarianism. Of course, they are ultra popular. There's lots of these on the roads across North America. People love them. They're versatile. Haul your boat to the lake. You've got room for the kidlings in the back. They're relatively attractive vehicles. Although reliability isn't necessarily their game, they are practical, so people love them. But the sad part is, of that generation, you can expect when they compare the number of vehicles that are insured across the country versus the number of vehicles that are actually stolen, you can expect 0.4% of these vehicles that are insured in the country are likely to be stolen. And the next on our list is a 2018 to 2021 Honda, strongest competitor for the Toyota Camry. And what we're looking at here is this beautiful Honda Accord in all of its glory. Yes, it has some great detail and some beautiful wheels and some amazing mirrors like this and one-touch chrome type handles. Look, even a sunroof to boot, and lots of great detail. I love those rear tail lights right there on this Honda Accord. It's gorgeous in the Touring Edition. Yes, you have some great tailpipes, and you can get some manual gearbox with some of these models, which makes these somewhat more desirable. The interiors are gorgeous, and these are really well polished. But unfortunately, those trash mongers that really feel like they need to steal other people's vehicles, 1.3% of these seems to hit the road by those would-be thieves sending them south of the border. The next one is this pickup truck here, 99 to 2006 Chevy 1500 or GMC 1500. And of course, sadly enough, 0.6% of these vehicles will decide to drive away on their own. Sadly enough, they're very popular. They're definitely workhorses and well sought after, particularly if you're dealing with vehicles that would go south of the border. Very, very popular. And unfortunately, that just means a lot of people are looking to take these away from you, and it's one that you're going to want to protect. The next one in line is the 2011 to 2018 Dodge Ram or Ram 1500 specifically. Like we're looking over here, you'll notice it's a 1500 classic, very basic looking vehicle, but it's very practical. You can haul all kinds of weight around your camper, your trailer. People love them. Trucks are very popular and they were very hard to get in the last couple of years. With vehicles like this that actually were insured, cross-referenced to the vehicles, of course, that were stolen, you would typically expect about 0.2% of all Dodge Rams on the road were likely to hit the road due to some kind of car thief, and that vehicle would never be seen again, unfortunately. So it's a sad state of affairs. The pickup trucks have been very popular, and as a result, they're on the list of some of the top vehicles stolen for this year. Unfortunately, the next vehicle on our list that's popular with the thieves is this beautiful little white rig right here. And what are we looking at? This is another Toyota, and it's a Highlander, of course. Beautiful, styled well, and ultra reliable. There's even more practicality here because of its larger size. You've got room and lots of capacity for a lot of people in the front and the back. Beautiful, amazing looking headlights. And look at these gorgeous wheels. Absolutely amazing to keep you in the lap of luxury. Absolutely gorgeous vehicle. And unfortunately, about 1.2% of these vehicles are stolen when you compare to vehicles that are insured versus the vehicles that actually drive away. And unfortunately, another very, very popular model is what we have here. Now, this is a 2014, but I would say the 2016 to current, or essentially 21, is the model years that you really want to be concerned with if you own the Honda Civic like this. They're very popular. They're easy to live with. They're not the most difficult to steal for those thieves on the inside that know how to actually do it. I mean, Hondas always have some great little detail, styling like that. They have a sharp pointed front end, looks very sporty. A lot of modifications available for the aftermarket. great little mirrors and accents, and of course sometimes you get sunroofs and great detail. They're definitely very popular, especially when you get into the SI models and the sport versions. People love these vehicles. They're affordable and they're reliable. So what's not to love? Unfortunately, about 0.3% of these, when referenced between the vehicles that are insured and the vehicles that are actually stolen, you're expecting, again, about 0.3% of these vehicles to actually sail off into the clear blue yonder. The next one here is this glorious Ford F-150, one of America's best-selling pickup trucks. 2015 to 2020 is what you can expect, where you'll start to see these vehicles take a hike. Of course, yeah, you can tow all kinds of junk with them. Yeah, they have these great mirrors that are just work duty, and these aggressive handles, and these tough workhorse type mirrors. Of course, yes, you can also haul some weight with this, so they're very popular. But unfortunately, about 0.4% of these Ford F-150s seem to take a hike. Now another really highly sought after vehicle by those little hoodlums, those little rascals, like to take a 2016 to 2021 model year Lexus RX of pretty much every engine configuration. What we're looking at here is clearly a sought after vehicle. Everybody likes the durability and reliability of Lexus products, and that makes them popular. Unfortunately, what else makes them popular is they're not the most difficult vehicle to take away when would-be thieves actually know how to do that. They're amazing vehicles, but if you are one of those people that put down your hard-earned dollars to buy one of these gorgeous vehicles, then you might be sadly mistaken when you come out and you find that vehicle gone. Yes, they do have great headlights and that enormous grille. Gorgeous front ends on there and some laser cut wheels. Beautiful mirrors that tuck away, as well the big sunroof on top and that amazing little finishing at the back. But unfortunately, 6.4% of these vehicles are known to take a walk. And I'm sure you, like I, have seen many documentaries where a lot of these vehicles wind up on these sea cans, head on over across the sea, south of the border, all over the world in a different place. Somebody finds them across the globe, they open up the glove box, they find some Canadian or US registration in the glove box, as well as a good old-fashioned used Tim Hortons cup, hot, steaming, still ready to go. And another vehicle on the list is this popular little silver vehicle right here. As you can see, it's made by Honda, so it has all of that reliability carved into place. Obviously, it's a practical vehicle. They're easy to sell because they're great on fuel. Parts are plentiful. Breaking these down and selling to other would-be thieves is an easy feat. Of course, you have great little front bars and beautiful little headlights, and even the great wheels like you see down here. And look, running boards all there. Beautiful one-touch access, and you can even get sunroofs on top. Beautiful rear design themes on these vehicles. They're very wonderfully styled, and again, as I say, very easy to unload by those unruly thieves and people that mama just didn't quite raise right. Sadly, the Honda CR-V is a vehicle with 1.7% of these you can expect, if they are stolen, to wind up in the hands of the would-be wannabe underbelly of society. All right, just because your vehicle isn't on that list doesn't mean that it's not susceptible. These would-be thieves are getting smarter and smarter every single week and day, and they're trying to find other ways to get into your valuable vehicle. So first things first, one of the key tips that I have to share that you have to do is obvious. You wanna lock your door. Because I've seen it time and time again. A lot of these low-level dirtbag thieves want to just quickly grab every door handle. As they walk through a street, a parking lot, they basically pull on every single handle. And if one of them is open, just one out of 50 vehicles, they're going to jump on in there and make themselves at home. So lock your vehicle is going to prevent some of the easy hanging problems and the low-hanging fruit. Another way to prevent potential thefts, if you're given the choice when you're buying your car new, automatic, manual. There aren't many manual transmissions around these days, but take a look. Here's one example. This particular car has a 6-speed manual. In other words, there's a third pedal and you have to road your own gears. The fun reality is that a lot of people just don't know how to drive manual these days. Yeah, in Europe, there's still certain markets where there's a lot of people that do. As the market evolves, we have more double clutch, automatics, CVTs, less and less people know how to row their own gears, and that just makes it even more difficult for the would-be thieves if they can't drive one. Another option is just park your car indoors if you can. That just makes sure that nobody can actually get in there. It makes it much more difficult. There's another very simple tip that you can administer to make sure your car doesn't get ripped off. In other words, why don't you just park in places like this? You have lots of busy traffic, lots of people parking here. When they're busy like this, people are more reluctant to actually try to get busy. When there's a lot of interaction and people coming and going, there's more likeliness of somebody seeing something that's a little shady, whether they're trying to get in the door, break a window, or do something shady. What you don't want to do is what this guy's doing. You don't want to park like this guy's parking. Here, hiding behind a tree, all alone. Look at that. And that is unfortunately more suspect and putting himself in a little bit more compromising position. If it's dark, you'll notice the shade versus the light, and of course the trees. It's very hidden over here. Another great preventative measure is like up there. What do we have up there? What we actually have is a video surveillance camera. As you can see that's keeping an eye on things. All around here, all these vehicles are a little more secure because that camera is keeping an eye on it. There's also a light here, so as you get near this will flash on, and so it's well illuminated. And even signs like this that tell you this area is under video surveillance is enough sometimes to keep the lowlifes away. Another big mistake is what a lot of people make when they're scared that they might lose their keys. I notice many people often do that because they're scared they might lock their key in the door or have some other inconvenience. But there's nothing more convenient than actually having your vehicle disappear, because some of these people actually tend to hide a key. Do not hide a key under the wheel well or fender well. And you pull a key like this, all of a sudden, whoa, lo and behold, I have myself a key. And now I can go in here and get myself in just like that. Another thing that can sometimes help open the door is a steering wheel lock. A lot of times people don't bother with that, and you don't see a lot of people use these, but if you use a steering wheel lock, it prevents would-be thieves from cracking the ignition and driving off to the sunset. If you can't move the steering wheel, you can't drive very far. If you gotta make a right-hand turn, you're kind of done. So using those steering wheel locks does a great job of keeping people out, even the visual part of it, because they're usually often bright yellow, and that's enough to send the signal, hey, that one's going to be a big challenge. So those work amazingly. Another one has to do with the fact that all these modern day vehicles are very, very complex. Everything's digital, electronic, they're all accessible through that beautiful little OBD2 port within your vehicle. And it's very, very easy for would-be thieves to get in there and disable some of your security features. Of course, just by going in. Ports like this exist, this OBD2 port, and a lot of these would-be thieves can easily plug into this and disable your vehicle. This is easy to access, but without this accessibility, that makes it very difficult. Of course, you can get a lock that secures that port so that they can't put anything on there. So you put this steel bridge lock and it holds everything, prevents the access, and makes it very, very difficult to thieve. So clearly money's important to you. You don't want your vehicle stolen, but you also don't want to buy a piece of junk car. Right there, check it out. That's my list of some of the worst vehicles because of the garbage engines you'll find under the hood. Hope to see each and every one of you on the next one. We'll catch you real soon. Bye-bye. They're all accessible through electronic ports, the OBD2 ports within your vehicle.